What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 219 of the Taste Cast, our gaming podcast. We talk about all things gaming. My name's Seth, and joining me today, of course, is Chevy. Chevy, how you doing? Are you excited to talk about? We got GTA 6. The second trailer's come out. We got Elden Ring Nightreign official gameplay overview, and we are going to catch up on the Borderlands 4. I think overview as well. I think they just kind of describe what they're bringing with Borderlands 4. We kind of skipped over that. It was a state of play. We're only watching. I don't think we're watching the whole thing. I think we're just watching the overview. Okay. Excited to talk about that stuff. And how you doing?
I'm doing good. Getting close to having a week off and hoping to knock out some games that I've been wanting to play, and I just haven't really had the time. So
always nice,
but yeah, otherwise doing pretty good. As far as like the topics, they're not necessarily all my cup of tea, but I am definitely interested at the very least in the tech of one of them. So, but yeah, yourself?
I'm good. I'm excited. I'm actually excited to talk about, or at least watch and talk about, Grand Theft Auto 6. Big hype on this game. A long time coming to actually get another trailer for the game. The game did get delayed. I was not surprised by that at all. And I think everyone releasing games this year let out a sigh of relief, knowing that they don't have to worry about it anymore. But it is good that right after announcing that delay to next year, they released a trailer, and I'm excited to see it. I've already seen a couple pictures. I was on the internet today and saw some pictures, saw a couple of clips from the trailer, but I haven't watched the whole thing. But from what I've seen so far, I'm already very impressed. But I expected to be impressed because it's Rockstar. When they release games, it like pushes tech forward in gaming every single fucking time since Grand Theft Auto 3. So yeah, looking forward to that. And then Borderlands 4, I'm looking forward to watching that as well. I like Borderlands 2 and 1, so hoping 4 is good. And then curious about Nightreign because I love FromSoft. So and that though, I'm feeling good, feeling energized. I only got like 4 hours of sleep last night, which kind of sucked, but I'm feeling pretty good. So let's just get into this. And with that, let's jump into game releases. It's the first Tastecast of the month, so we're going to talk about games coming out in May. I took a quick glimpse at this before, and it's looking like a decent month. So with that, let's jump into it. So on May 1st, we got Despelot on PS4, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then on May 2nd, we got Croc Legend of the Gobos. Is that like the original Croc from like PlayStation?
I'm going to assume so.
I think there's something called Gobos in that. Anyway, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then Metal Eden on May 6th, PS5. And then on the 8th, The Midnight Walk, PS5 and PSVR 2. On the 8th as well, we got Revenge of the Savage Planet. I saw some people hyping that up. PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. And then the last one on the 8th is Yes, Your Grace, Snowfall on PC. Then on the 9th, we got Little Kitty Big City, PS4, PS5. And then Spiritfall also on the 9th for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and Switch. Then Palia on May 13th, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then also on the 13th, we have Labyrinth of the Demon King, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Then the 15th, we got Doom the Dark Ages coming out, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. And then Smash Drums, also on the 15th, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 on May 16th on PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Sea of Stars Throes of the Watchmaker, May 20th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Also on the 20th, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splintered Fate on PS4 and PS5. And then on the 21st, we got Fantasy Life The Girl Who Steals Time on Switch. And then May 22nd, Duck Detective The Secret Salami on PS5. Okay. Also Duck Detective The Ghost of Glamping on May 22nd. So apparently those are coming out at the same time in the brand new, or maybe they're older games. I have no idea.
One's only on PS5.
Yeah, and the other one is coming out on PS5 as well, but also Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny comes out on May 23rd, PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. And then on the 28th, jumping all the way forward, we got 2AT on PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. Then Scarlead Salvation, or Scarled, on the 28th, PS4, PS5, PC. Then Fuga Melodies of Steel 3. All these games, I have no idea what the fuck they are. May 29th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC. Sonic Wings Reunion on the 29th as well for PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC. Then Elden Ring Nightreign, perfect timing for us to be watching an overview on it. May 30th on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and PC. I want to say Switch, but it's not on there. May 30th, last but not least, Rune Factory, Guardians of Azuma on Switch and PC. Chevy, what games are just screaming to you that you're so excited for? Must buy, big hype, day one.
What's Palia again?
Palia is like that. I thought that was like a free-to-play, like, cozy game or something where you, like, do farming and shit.
Was it just an early access or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Because
maybe.
it's been out for a while.
If it was...
I heard really bad things about it.
Yeah, I would say if it's one I think it is, then no. But I'll have to see because I like those kind of games. But I remember one of them having a lot of negative opinions about it.
I'm pretty sure when that came out in early access, wherever the fuck it was, it's been out for a while, I think, people were complaining about either it had, like, not spyware, but, like, kernel embedded stuff in the install, or it was, like, money hungry or something.
Gotcha.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah, we'll see. Capcom Fighting Collection 2, if that is the one with Capcom versus SNK 2, then yes, I will be buying it. That's one of my favorite fighting games. So,
one of those supposed to have Power Stone and Power Stone 2, which is awesome.
I think it's that one.
Yeah, that would be fucking
the
dope.
first one's already out, the first collection.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be the one then.
Yeah. Sea of Stars, I believe that's a DLC or a expansion. I don't have the base game yet. I want to play it. Can't find the free time, so that kind of bums me out. But we have a friend who has played it and liked it a lot, so I would like to try it. I am a little curious about Fantasy Life I, the girl who steals time, because I remember playing Fantasy Life on the DS, I believe, with you. This one where you get to pick a job and, like, run around and stuff like that. I'm just curious on that because that could be fun. Onimusha 2, I have a curiosity. I didn't like those games when they came out, but I am a much older and different person now, so maybe I'll enjoy it now. Plus, with the new one coming out and that one looking pretty cool, I should give the series another shot, I think. So
yeah,
maybe.
I think my big disappointment with Onimusha when I was younger was I like samurai stuff, but I didn't really like the horror element of it.
Right.
I also didn't like it being kind of like, I think they were tank controls, or at least like the first one was. I don't remember, but I just wasn't into it at the time. But because I can't remember it anymore, really. So, like, I'm in the same boat of, like, I should probably go back and play those again. I didn't hate them, but I wasn't like a huge Onimusha fan.
Yeah, it just wasn't in my genre at the time.
But the new one looks awesome. So yeah, I think it is a fair assessment.
Yeah, and then
go back and play that.
Unless it just completely sucks, I will definitely be picking up Elden Ring Nightreign. I like the idea. As much as I don't like roguelikes, I like Elden Ring quite a bit. So
yeah, you're getting that gameplay. You're also getting a game that has been designed with. You can play it, I guess, by yourself, but it's designed for 3 people to be running through. I think you only can play it solo or 3 or something like that. I don't remember, but and there's like new stuff. It's not just Elden Ring. It's like there's new bosses and shit.
Yeah, new mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's like
it's designed to be like a hunt down your weapons and rush the boss kind of thing. So
which I think could be fun.
Yeah.
Plus, From Software's making it, so them making just like a multiplayer game is kind of interesting.
Yeah, they don't have the best track record with netcode, so we'll see. But
yeah, it's worth experimenting with.
At the very least, I kind of want to just support them making a multiplayer game. So,
except for the Switch 2 one, that's a multiplayer game. I'm excited about it, but a lot of people seem pretty mixed on it because it's not an extraction shooter. It's something like that. I think it's like a PvPvE game, not extraction shooter. But
are you talking about the Bloodborne-esque one?
The Switch 2 one, yeah. I forget the name of it. It's like
yeah.
Dusk Bloods.
Yeah. I haven't been keeping tabs on it, so
yeah.
So more than I expected this month, to be honest. So
I got less than I expected this month. So let's see here. Doom: The Dark Ages, I'm curious about. I wasn't a huge fan of the last Doom, but the one before that I really liked. So this one's kind of up in the air. It does look pretty cool though. So definitely interested, and I'm paying for Game Pass right now, so
Might as well.
I won't have an excuse not to play it. Let's see. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 I'm interested in, especially because it has Power Stone and just Capcom fighting games in general. I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter Fate looked kind of interesting, if it's the right one I'm thinking of. It's like multiplayer, I believe. Maybe I'm misremembering, but there's a TMNT game coming out that kind of reminds me of old school ones. So, and we talked about a lot of those recently for Plus Club, so it's fresh on the mind. Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny I'm also interested in, and Elden Ring Nightreign I guarantee I'll buy day one. I wouldn't say I'm like super hyped on it, but I'm definitely, if I can get 2 other people who want to play it, I'll play it.
Yeah.
I love multiplayer games. I love From Software, so
I'm sure at the very least me and Chris will play. So
yeah. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Other than that, it's a pretty light month for me, which is great. And also on our PlayStation Plus games, which if you guys aren't aware, are Balatro, Ark Survival Ascended, and 40k Bolt Gun, Warhammer 40k, which are all pretty light too. So this is going to be a pretty casual month for the games I want to buy and the games I have to play. So
yeah,
that's nice. You got anything else?
No.
All right, well, let us know in the comments what games are you guys excited for in May. What games have you already picked up in May, and what games are you avoiding like the plague in May? Let us know everything you're thinking about May in the comments below. All right, so let's jump into what we've been playing. Chevy, how about you start us off with the games you've been playing in like the last whatever amount of days or so?
I mean, only games I'm going to be able to remember because I have not played as much as I would like. So I hop back into Monster Hunter Wilds. They have the spring event or Sakura event or whatever it's called happening right now. I hopped in. I got all the armor for that. The Arc Tempered Raidao fight, which is a lot of fun. Did that. I got a full set of that armor right now. And then I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, there's a bunch of accessories that you can get now too with the spring event. So like a couple pairs of glasses, and then like a headband that has like an eye cover, and you can left or right eye basically. There is a Palico armor set, which is just it's a cat. So the cat wears a cat. So that's an interesting one. It's kind of like, it makes him look like a doll basically.
Gotcha.
And then yeah, I finally, RNG was nice to me, and I was able to make I can't remember what they're called. They're the craftable weapons you make. It's the current end game of the game. They're really boring looking weapons, but you know, have the RNG stats. You can cross your fingers that you get a good one. So I'm not in love with that system. Hopefully they come up with a new end game system, but it's fine for now, I guess. So. And
if they don't, they'll have something cool in an expansion at some point. So.
Oh, for sure. They changed the one in World, so, and I think it was much better in Iceborne. So
yeah,
yeah, still using the hunting horn. I kind of dabbled a little bit finally with the spear and shield. I definitely am clumsy with it because I've never played with those before. So it was a little interesting getting used to like. I mean, realistically, playing slower because do a lot of blocking and like counterattacks and stuff like that. So, but when I did get a good combo off, it felt really good. So I'd like to practice it a little more. I'd like to try some more of the other weapons too, because I've always like I always just kind of stick to similar weapons in Monster Hunter. I did longsword forever because most people play longsword in Monster Hunter. And then in World, I kind of dabbled with some other stuff like sword and board, hammer, hunting horn, and I really enjoyed all 3 of those. So I'm trying to expand my selection a little more because as much as I like playing hunting horn, sometimes I want to switch it up, but I just don't have any comfort with any of the weapons, especially since they change in every game. I have no idea how any of them play this game. So yeah. I'm not playing it all the time though, because I want to be able to hop in every time an event happens and not feel like I'm burnt out of the game. So, which was really nice. I got to hop in. I played with Chris and a friend of his to do some some of the new stuff, and it was fun. It was a good. I was gonna hop in for like an hour or two. I played all day, so that game and every Monster Hunter has a way of just stealing my entire day as soon as I play it. So I have to be careful.
Yeah.
Let's see. Also played. I can't remember the beginning of it, but Expedition 33. My computer's having issues, and this game is one of the 3 games now which has shut my computer off while playing it. So had a rough patch starting to play this game.
You're also having cutscenes that were.
I'm also having jittery cutscenes,
stuttering or whatever.
Yeah, so it's not
sucks.
the game's fault, right? There's something going on with my PC. I'm almost positive because I'm not really seeing a lot of chit chat online about these issues either. So
yeah, you would hear a lot about
Yeah.
that since it's a hyped game.
So I don't know what's going on there, but it has made it difficult for me to want to like just dive into the game.
I don't even want you to play it if the cutscenes aren't playing smoothly.
Yeah, I had humor maybe buying it again and just playing it on console, but that kind of sucks. So is it even on console?
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you refund it?
I've played it for too long at this
Okay.
point.
Sometimes they'll let you do it. They let me do it once.
Yeah,
I've only tried once, but
I might just need to turn some graphics settings down or something like that and just deal with it.
get
'Cause
some reapply some thermal paste.
It runs fine outside of cutscenes. Like it runs like
Yeah.
great.
It's pretty well optimized. It plays great on my computer.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm having issues with it. Outside of that though, it is a good looking game. That is for sure. The environment, the character models, and all that stuff are all very well done. It's very impressive of a smaller team in the way it looks. The particle effects and stuff like that can be a little much sometimes, but it's not all the time. So hard for me to knock it on that. Just every once in a while, I'm like, holy crap, what the hell is happening on
Yeah.
screen right now? So, but I mean, I play JRPGs too, and they all do that too from time to time. So it's just part of the genre, apparently. Yeah. If I had an actual complaint for the game itself, and it's not the game's fault at all, it's just a preference. I kind of expected it going into it anyways. I don't love the combat system being as interactive as it is. It is not an enjoyable experience for me. I'll say that much. It's not enough to make me quit playing the game. I want to keep going through. I want to go through the story. The premise of the game seems really interesting to me, so I'd like to see where it goes at the very least. But I would have preferred either it to pick action game or to pick turn-based. I do give them props for trying something. 100%. I always will encourage that. I just happen to not be the demographic for that system.
Yeah,
so.
we talked about this before. There's 2 people who've been complaining about this game. It's first off people who don't like turn-based RPGs. With a lot of people complaining that turn-based is like a lazy way to make a game or something like that, which is just so stupid.
It's a pretty smooth brain take.
Yeah, it's pretty stupid for so many reasons that if I had to explain it to somebody, I feel like it'd be an insult to myself and them. But then also people who are into turn-based RPGs not liking the active combat system because there are side bosses that are really hard on purpose, and
definitely.
they want you to take advantage of that system because you can just negate damage if you're good enough. That's why I haven't been putting stats into my defense really, because I just fucking dodge or parry. But yeah, because they have that active system, some people they didn't feel like they wanted to sign up for that, basically. Though I would...
You should do research before buying a game.
You should. Especially if you just jumped into that game without even looking into how it plays or what the combat's like, and then you're surprised by that and upset. It's like, well, you should have done your
I
research.
knew what I was
yeah.
getting into, and then I tried it and didn't like it.
But there's other factors to the combat system stuff too that I think people should look at. That like every character has their own like gimmick, mechanics, stuff like that, and the build diversity is huge. The way you can build characters. So I would definitely recommend anybody who's having issues with the combat system, play further, grind like any RPG out there.
Which is
if you're having issues, and then you don't even have to do that much dodging or parrying. You could just fucking like the game. I love that like this small team made it because the game can be broken. I don't know if they wanted it to be or not, but you can like really fucking put some stats into things that make it feel crazy to do so much damage to an enemy. But I love that. It reminds me of old games. And you could look that up too. I haven't, but like I've got some pretty busted builds that I've been enjoying. So yeah, if you did that, you don't got to worry about, you know, the active system.
Yeah, and I don't want to think about it, so I just have builds on a tab on my second monitor, and I'm just following them. So
yeah, that should make the game super easy.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't played it enough to have like a hard opinion, so it's going to be kind of hard for me to talk about. Other than you know, like I said, I think it's a good looking game. The design and stuff like that's good. I do think the music team, or whoever, not the person who made the music, but whoever balanced the music. I think the music sometimes is a bit loud compared to the game, to the point where I can't hear people.
I
did
it down.
have to turn it down.
Yep.
So nitpick, and then
yeah, the dialogue audio and the music audio was like the same level when I first started playing the game, and I was in like, I've talked about it before, but like there's a very human element to the characters and how they're portrayed, and so like their inflection, the way they talk, can kind of be like a little lower, and the music's just doo 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 doo, and just like piano and shit. I'm just like, whoa, let's balance that for you, since this is pretty fucking crazy.
Especially a lot of the dialogue after the first event, when you actually start getting to play the game, more than just like the tutorials as you're walking through the first part. I'm trying to stay vague, sorry. Yeah, there's a moment there where they're all like trying to talk, and I'm like, I can't hear a word you're saying because the piano is just blasting my eardrums out. So
yeah, I had to turn it down by then. So I literally, as soon as the game started, just turned it down, because the first part that they talked, I was like, this is way too loud.
Yeah. So, but yeah, after I did that, you know, I'm able to hear them, and so far the VA work is good. So I'm happy to say or hear that. Yeah, and then I like that it has a world map. It's very nostalgic, sadly, because even current turn-based RPGs and stuff like that don't really utilize that system anymore. They usually just kind of use a teleport system. So it was kind of nice to be able to walk around a map and then like see these giant enemies and stuff like that, and you could choose to engage in those to like unlock your treasure and stuff like that. So very old school feeling. It was nice.
Yeah, it's got a lot of inspirations from a lot of different places, and like whether it's retro JRPGs, RPGs, fucking all sorts of stuff. It's really cool to see all these. It feels like RPG nerds made the game
for sure. And then also just kind of knowing, this is more of a side tangent, but knowing that the devs, you know, used to work in AAA and just weren't inspired by what they were making, and so they left to do a passion project. I'm always going to be supportive of that, regardless of how I end up enjoying the game by the time I get through it. So, because I think the quality's there for sure, and I think with them selling over 2 million copies now, I think people tend to agree. So,
yep, and that's not even Game Pass.
Yeah, that's sales.
Yep,
yeah,
which is awesome.
Yeah, for sure, especially for the first game. So, that's very awesome.
I think it's doing better than like Metaphor, Refantasio, and all sorts of shit. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah,
and one thing people keep bringing up is that not everybody's into anime looking games, which I agree with. Yeah. I think it's completely fair, as long as you're not just like being a dick about people who like anime games or whatever. But like, if you're just like not into that and this appealed to you because it has a more realistic look to it, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I know people who are not into it.
It's kind of weird because this game reminds me of the Xbox 360 era a little bit.
Oh yeah, 1000%, and it's inspired by Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon.
Okay. Well, it's funny because obviously those are both JRPGs, but
yep.
by the original Final Fantasy creators studio. I can't remember the name of it right now, but Lost Odyssey was the one I was thinking of. I was like, this kind of feels like when Lost Odyssey was made, so because that was a very like not cartoony looking game. Basically, they went for more like real tones and stuff.
Realistic
like
looking.
Yeah. So versus like Blue Dragon was very much like Dragon Quest, heavily inspired, I'd say. So, but yeah, it is a little. I think it's also a good point too, just because of the fact that I don't think we really see too many outside of Baldur's Gate too many turn-based RPGs these days that aren't anime games, so or anime like games, so or animated in general. Not all like Sea of Stars is obviously more of a Western cartoon style, but regardless, I'm rambling. Yeah, just random thought. It felt like 360, and yeah, obviously you kind of backed that up a bit. So
Yeah.
Outside of that, I haven't really been playing much. I'd like to. Hopefully, with this week off, I have a plan. My plan is, fingers crossed, I would like to try to, at the very least, if I have to keep turning my computer on to continue playing it, we'll see. But play more Expedition 33. I also want to finally go back and beat Dragon Age because it's still on my PlayStation and I want to beat it because I'm like halfway through it. And I just want to be done with it. So, those are my two plans right now.
There's another RPG you need to finish too. Oh, Metaphor.
Yeah, I'm in the beginning of that game though. That's a big sit. So.
Oh, I thought you played further than that.
I played through the first town. That was it.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, that's another game though. You should still finish.
I'd like to, but that's a more daunting task than the other two right now. So, because I'm sure it's longer than Expedition 33. So.
Yeah, Expedition 33 is like 25 to 55 hours. So.
Yeah, and I know how long Persona is, and same company. So, anyways, that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I've only played 3 games like the last week or so. The first one is Icarus, which is our game of the month. So I can't talk about that, but I have already played it, and I will be playing it more, hopefully with Chevy. They've added a lot of stuff since the last time I've played, so that'll be interesting to talk about. We have reviewed it in the past, but that was like back when it first came out. So this will basically be an updated review of the game. So yeah, games I have played that I can talk about. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 I've also been playing. I'm getting pretty close to the end of it, I think. I won't say anything about the story outside of I think the story is so far fantastic from the beginning to where I'm at. I've been super into it. I do agree that the graphics are good. The style of everything in the game I think is really cool as well. But I like French stuff, so it definitely is very French thematically, which I really dig. All the people saying things in French every once in a while, and merde and
all the time,
and putain and stuff like that. So even though that was a big introduction for a lot of people of that word, so that was funny to see so many people just repeating that now. I love the combat system. I like turn-based games. I like action games. I like Dark Souls style games. Not saying it's a Dark Souls style game, but I do really like the hybrid of combat being both actiony and turn-based. I look forward to in a lot of like RPGs in general, JRPGs, turn-based RPGs, also like that. Eventually, when you're doing like a lot of grinding, combat can start feeling a little repetitive, and in this you'll get so powerful that you'll wreck things anyway. But I still enjoy every fight I get into just because I have to be present for when they attack. I also have to be present for when I do moves to maximize the amount of damage I can do with it. And also because of the mechanics of certain characters that I won't talk about, you need to strategize in the moment. So it's a game that not only am I strategizing from a turn-based perspective, but also having to be present for the combat in an action way that really works really well for my brain. I really enjoy the combat system. I think it's fucking awesome. Story's really good. Characters, I like every single character in the game. That's pretty wild because I typically will have like one character I think is like okay in most games, but most characters like so archetypical, and I always say if you can look at them and tell what kind of character they are, and that's fine. It's serviceable. I'm not complaining, but like I'm never like super into the characters in this game. I think they're all written really well. I think they're all performed very well by the people who are playing them. I think there's a really, really human element to the acting and the dialogue that I just don't see in almost any game anymore. Like everything, feels like most games, the writing's not that great anyway, but typically if it is, decent or good, it's like more quippy, marvelly, or it's like, Naughty Dog, which they're fantastic at it too, but they have a really cinematic way of doing dialogue and character stuff like that, whether it's the grittiness of Last of Us or the more Hollywood blockbuster of Uncharted. they're good at it, but it's very cinema. This doesn't feel like cinema. This is like, well, maybe French cinema, but like there's a subtlety to the dialogue and the conversations and the movement of characters that I love the performances. They're like fucking fantastic. And just the amount of shit that's in this game is awesome. It really does harken back to like all the legendary RPGs of the past that have like extras to do. I mean, there's like jump puzzles, weird like mini games of like, I don't want to spoil any of them, but just a lot of stuff that you remember older RPGs and finding these things and still to this day you're like, oh, the golden saucer or whatever. This game has stuff like that. It's definitely inspired by all the RPGs out there that have had stuff like that. So I really kind of love that, even though it does suck that when you first get introduced to a new zone or area and you're exploring around, half the enemies you see on the map when you first encounter them, you know that they're basically just like an optional boss, and they'll wreck you like on your first attempt, unless like you just did it really well your first try, or you learn their moves and then come back and fight them. So typically when I see people, unless it's just like, normal enemies on the ground, I'm like, am I in the mood to fight like a challenging boss right now, or do I want to progress the story, or do I want to go explore some more? But it is cool that they have just a shitload of stuff to do on the map. I also like that it does have a mini map as well, that you can explore with like little dudes walking around. Definitely brings me back to like old school JRPGs, because even nowadays, like you said, a lot of games don't do that anymore. So there is a nostalgia factor to that I really dig. And yeah, I really can't talk about the game too much, which kind of sucks, just because like this is a game, it's fresh. I think a lot of people should play it. I really want people to play it with no spoilers. There's some pretty bold decisions made in this story that I don't want anyone to spoil for you. So, but yeah, so far I'm loving the game. It is my game of the year so far for the year. That obviously can change, but I don't feel this way about any other game. And there's a lot of great games already played this year. So, Monster Hunter, the fucking I played the Oblivion remaster. But I guess I can talk about that in a sec. But yeah, it's definitely the best game I've played. I like from the first like 5 minutes, I was like, oh, this is like game of the year, cool. And it's only gotten better. So, yeah, Clair Obscur, really good. Just to touch on it real quick before I get into the other game I was going to talk about, I played the Oblivion remaster. I think I only have like 10 hours in it, but mostly because I've already played Oblivion, and then Clair Obscur came out, and I was like, well, I haven't played that, and now I've just been playing that. But I will go back to Oblivion. But this remaster is really fucking good. It's better than what Bethesda would have made. People keep giving Bethesda all this credit, and it's like Bethesda gets the credit of having made the original Oblivion, which is legendary as a game, and allowing somebody else to remake it for them. Yeah, kudos to Bethesda, but that's the end of that, because this team, I forgot their name, they did this, and they did a great job. It's a really good hybrid of a remaster / remake. That builds upon the old DNA of the old game, now put in Unreal Engine 5, and then with brand new assets and brand new things that they built upon it. It's a really interesting hybrid to experience. I also thought it was really cool of this team to give, Sky Oblivion?
Yeah.
It's basically a project they've been working on for fucking ever.
Right.
People are making these like jokes and shit, like, oh, that really sucks for them now this coming out, because big dev basically jumped ahead of them because they have the resources to do what they've been trying to do for years as a small team. Well, anyway, the dev team that worked on this gave those modders all free copies of Oblivion.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
which I thought was like,
so that's a class act for sure.
Class act, because if this was Nintendo, cease and desist would have been sent years ago.
Yeah, well, true. Though I guess the saving grace here is that Bethesda's very like okay with mods. So.
Oh yeah, they're okay with mods and selling you mods. So yeah, I thought that was actually really cool of them.
Yeah.
to kind of like respect, like, hey, we know you guys. Everybody knows who's in this community, knows you guys have been working on this for a long time.
For sure.
We have the resources to do this faster, and we have all of the tools. So I thought that was really cool of them.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, if one thing is really cool, especially over on TikTok where I'm having a lot of these conversations, whether you're an old fan of Oblivion or you never played it because you're younger, this remaster is a great starting point for new players who never played Oblivion and old players like me that want to re-experience Oblivion in a brand new light. So that's one thing I've just been really digging about it. The game's really easy. I don't remember it being that easy back in the day. I don't know if I'm just like a better gamer than I was. I doubt that. Maybe I am. Or maybe I just know what I'm doing more than I did when I originally played the game. But I need to turn the difficulty up or something, because I'm just like walking through the game and I'm like, that kind of sucks, because I want that experience of adventure, not just like, oh, enemy, kill them really easily. But yeah, I'll play it more and talk about it later. Right now, I'm just playing Clair Obscur. So once I get that knocked out, I'll get back to Oblivion. But from what I played for like the 10 hours I played, it's awesome. It's great because like anybody who watched the channel regularly, it's been a while since we've talked about it, but like neither of us are like giant Skyrim fans. It's fine. I don't have anything negative to say about it, but like that was like a lot of people's like first like RPG with like choices and stuff like that, and so it's like a big deal for them. But like Morrowind's my favorite Elder Scrolls game, Oblivion's my second favorite one, Skyrim I think kind of diminished a lot of the more RPG elements of the past games and simplified it for a broader audience, and it worked because it sold fucking crazy and people they kept re-releasing all that shit. But how to get onto this topic with Skyrim? I was just fucking talking. Oh, where
people's first game?
Yeah, no. We're not. How did I fucking get to this?
You were talking about the difficulty, and then
Difficulty.
It's a good first game for people. And
Yep.
then you said you weren't a big, or that we're not big.
We're not big Skyrim fans.
But it was.
Oh, no. Okay, holy shit, I got it. I'm back. So when people talk about Skyrim, like I'm always like, yeah, it's a cool game, but like there's no hyper excitement for it. Oblivion coming out again was actually exciting for me and was awesome to jump back into. And when I see people like really enjoying it, both like people who are stoked to be back or like new players who are like, whoa, this game's actually really cool, the story's like really good, I'm just like, yeah, I can be kind of more a part of that conversation because I have more passion for Morrowind, Oblivion than I do Skyrim. So yeah, holy shit, I got lost there fucking trying to figure out what the fuck I was even trying to get to. So yeah, it's been really cool to see Oblivion, a game that I actually have a lot of love for, come back out and see all these people talking about it, even though Expedition 33 surprisingly really kind of cut that conversation pretty quick. A lot of people were worried that Expedition 33 was going to do worse because it was releasing so closely to Oblivion, because Oblivion came out of nowhere.
Right.
And it almost is like the opposite happened, which is kind of fucking crazy. So, yeah. So yeah, Oblivion's cool. The other game I have been playing a little bit of over the weekend, I got into the Arc Raiders Technical Test 2. I was the only person I know who got into that personally, which I think is weird because before I even tried to get into the test, all these people were talking about like, oh, does anybody got a code? Somebody give me a code. I can't get in, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what do you need a code for? Because I went on Steam and I went to the page and there's a little green button. It's like request access. I was like, clicked it and it's like, you're in. I'm like, oh, nice. I was like, fucking cool. I didn't, and so I downloaded
Do the
it.
CAPTCHA. Okay.
So I downloaded it and then played it. And then when I told other people, like Josh, he's like, I didn't get an invite. And I'm like, just go to Steam. And he's like, yeah, I'm not in the test. And I'm like, just click the request access thing. He's like, it says there's no like, they'll email me if I can get in. I'm like, it didn't even give me a message. It just said you're in.
Yeah, anytime I've seen that button, I've always gotten in.
Yeah, same.
So maybe it's a setting on Steam we have set up or something.
I don't know.
Or it just auto signs up for betas or some shit. I don't know.
But I talked to a bunch of people on TikTok as well, and like there's a bunch of people who were like, I couldn't even get in. And then I got a QR code. It's like invite your friends. I'm like, cool. So I sent that to Josh and Cody. I didn't hear from Cody, but Josh was like, it says my requested platform is not available right now, because I think he's playing games on PS5 right now. And so yeah, I had to play it solo. But I got in like instantly, which seems kind of fucked up considering there's all these people going like, I can't get in. How do you get in? So anyway, if you don't know, Arc Raiders is the other game that Embark, the people who make the finals, is making. I found out, I don't know if this is true or not, but I read it somewhere. I think it's going to be a premium game. The finals, or not finals, Arc Raiders. I think it's going to be like a $40 game, which is weird because the finals is free to play. But anyway, where the finals is like a arena shooter, basically. It's oversimplifying it. This is an extraction shooter. It's a third-person shooter. And because Embark is a bunch of people that work for DICE, the finals can kind of feel like Battlefield in a lot of ways, especially in the guns and how they shoot. This feels kind of like Battlefront, which is interesting as well, because that's also a DICE game now. It kind of has a visual style and a third. It's like all the people who worked on those games and were able to execute on them came over here, because they're just like recreating those games but better, which is just funny. But yeah, in Arc Raiders extraction shooter, you basically drop in, raid the map. You fight against arcs, which are robots that are all over the maps, but also are all over the map, and then other people who are also raiding, and you can kill them, take their shit. If you die, you lose all your stuff. And like other extraction shooters, you have to extract from the map. There's a time limit of 20 minutes, I think, before a nuke gets dropped and just obliterates the place. But before that, there's like missiles lobbing in and exploding like in the last like 5 minutes, and there's more arcs running around the map, so it just gets more intense the longer you're there. But the thing that's interesting in this game is you have to escape underground. There's like an elevator you have to call that comes up to the surface level and then opens up. You have to get in there and pull a lever, and then you go down. There's also, if you have a key, escape hatches where you can open up and just go down. So that's how you extract, which is kind of interesting. Also, fun note, I don't know if it's been fully confirmed. I think it is, but it's theorized that the finals and Arc Raiders are in the same universe. Whereas the finals is this virtual reality competition game show that we don't know much about the real world outside of there's these huge corporations that all sponsor this because it's the biggest competition out there. Arc Raiders is post-apocalyptic. So a lot of people's theory is that the finals was a game show back when the world hadn't been destroyed yet. And Arc Raiders is after that world existed. I was kind of hoping that the finals was a game show in this post-apocalyptic world, where in the post-apocalyptic world it's like shitty and terrible, but like because it's virtual reality, you can simulate a more fun game show. But a lot of people will say that it's likely way before Arc Raiders. So I think it's kind of cool that they're going to be able to kind of cross-pollinate their two games that they're working on.
Right.
And I hope we see some crossovers from one game to the other. But yeah, Arc Raiders, a lot of people seem to have really liked it, which is really cool to see because you guys know I love Embark. I love everything that they do. So I really liked Arc Raiders, and I'm seeing a lot of people just talking it up, especially right after Marathon, which is really sad. Marathon came out in like a limited test. They let barely anyone play it. People talked about it for like a day, and then it fell off. And then this came out, and people were like, oh, I miss it. I want to play it again. Like, it needs to come back. It completely stole Marathon's Steam. And Marathon's Bungie, which is sad. So yeah, Embark's doing something right, and I'm glad they're getting praise. Because all these people are like talking, like all these people who have never even played the finals are just talking up Embark like, these guys are awesome. I'm like, I know they are. Like, you're preaching to the fucking choir. But yeah, I really enjoyed Arc Raiders from what I played solo. Very, very lonely, very sad by myself. But the game plays really well. It's fucking gorgeous. It's a gorgeous game. But so is the finals. The sound design is better than the finals. And the finals sound design's fine. But this game has directional, and you want this in an extraction shooter, but it has directional audio that's like pretty good. It's way better than I thought it'd be. So I really liked that. Guns feel good. Aiming is tight, which I appreciate. Combat TTK, time to kill, is good. There are shields you can put on and recharge if you have stuff to do that on you. But without a shield, you die really quick, which I really dig. I was able to drop heal pretty quick, but if they have a shield, you got to get that shield off them. So there's a challenge there. And then the arcs, the robots on the map that kind of make every encounter more dynamic, they kind of patrol around looking for people. And they'll kind of like turn on a yellow light and start like looking for you if you're making a lot of noise and shit. So, and if they see you, they set off an alarm, more arcs will start showing up. You basically just got to run at that point. So they'll start shooting at you. Or you can shoot back, make a bunch of noise, more arcs show up, people will hear you. It just really exacerbates shit. So you're kind of playing it stealthy at first. But I like that aspect of the game. There's also gigantic fucking like Generation Zero style like arcs that show up. They're like four-legged things that just come in and
I'll say it sounds a lot like Generation Zero.
Yeah, somebody on TikTok was like, so basically this is Generation Zero, and I was just like, yes, this is an extraction shooter. This is Generation Zero, you get it, because I fucking love that game, and this game's pretty dope as well. Yeah, the world design's awesome. It has like a very specific style, post-apocalyptic, almost like it's like a futuristic world, post-apocalyptic, which is really interesting. You can tell, something bad happened to this, futuristic world, and now you're just kind of in the remnants of it. And yeah, I also miss it. I definitely want to play it when it comes back, but I am concerned that Embark will now have 2 shooters that they expect me to have time for and money for. If Arc Raiders is indeed a premium game, that'll be interesting. I want to see how they go about. It seems like they're going to do something similar to Helldivers 2, because they have a battle pass system that I think a lot of people would probably want to see in the finals, where you can pick what battle pass you want to go through, and as you buy things in the first page, it'll unlock stuff, and it's literally Helldivers, which is
catalogs.
Smart. Yeah, which is really smart, because then they can just add more, and you can kind of pick and choose how you want to go through them.
Right.
And Helldivers is a premium game, so I think they can do that in a good way. But yeah, overall, Arc Raiders is cool. I definitely will be playing when it comes out. First day, for sure. It's super solid. I like extraction shooters. I know a lot of people are getting fatigued with them already, but I'm at the phase where a new extraction shooter is not exciting to me. A good extraction shooter is exciting to me because I like the formula, but it needs to be solid, and they've made a solid extraction shooter.
I mean, it would help if every time something becomes remotely popular, every AAA studio wasn't trying to make it. So.
Yeah, I get it. I think like the instant negativity towards anything getting popular is like really fucking annoying.
Sure.
But I also understand it because people are preemptively jumping ahead of what they know the industry is going to do. They know they're going to flood the market with these fucking games, and a lot of them are going to be cookie cutter bullshit,
right?
Which I suspect Marathon will be like. It definitely has an art style that's unique that I think is really cool, and I want to try it. It looks like it's going to play well, but so many people said that they played it for a couple hours and they were just like done, and I'm like, that's not what I want to hear.
Yeah.
That sounds like one of the big companies trying to just cash in on a trend. Yeah. Whereas Embark has been working on Arc Raiders for a while. And years, and I think they definitely have a more inspired and passionate idea of what that will be like. So, and I'm just excited if it is connected with the finals, which I'm pretty sure it is. Just seeing that lore expanded, because that's pretty neat. So, yeah, that's all the games I've been playing.
All right.
Got anything else?
I don't.
All right, let us know in the comments what games have you guys been playing, what games are you looking forward to playing soon, and what games do you think we should be playing. Let us know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to the stuff you've been doing. All right, finally we're going to jump into the videos. I'm going to start off with a big one, which is Grand Theft Auto 6 official trailer 2. Like I said, I've seen a couple pictures that are all amazing looking, and a couple I've seen some movement of the trailer, but not the whole trailer itself. So I have seen people complaining as well that it doesn't have gameplay in it. But if I know anything about Rockstar and their games, they don't have like CGI cutscenes, and they don't have like, they are technically pre-rendered, but like they are in-engine set pieces and stuff. So I do think this will be indicative of what the game will look like. So I'm excited for that aspect, but more so just more information on the game. I did read leaks on this game a while back, and some of them are pretty similar to what we've been seeing. So, but not completely accurate. One was like it's a brother and sister duo in the game, and then later a leak came out said they're like together, like a couple. We now know they're a couple, so it was kind of accurate. But yeah, definitely curious to see what they got going on in this trailer. Any thoughts?
I mean, I'm interested in the tech of it. I'm not a Grand Theft Auto fan, so it's not really for me at all. But, they make impressive games. So,
yep. As I always say, for anybody who's whether you're into Rockstar games or not, when Rockstar releases a game nowadays, it's an event in gaming and typically pushes what is possible in gaming forward pretty far. So, I still think Red Dead Redemption 2 is insanely impressive. The game's been out forever. So is Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's been a while. So you should probably watch this.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1, and go.
What you doing up there?
I'm just fixing some leaks.
Seriously, dude, you got some time on your hands. I got some properties with paying tenants.
Oh, that's why you came by?
Just go get me my checks.
See you, Brian. Love you, Jason.
Very detailed.
yeah.
This looks like a fucking movie.
I'm here for Lucia Caminos. She's supposed to be getting out.
Yeah, if this is what the game
What's your
actually
name?
looks like, it's pretty
Jason
insane.
Duval.
Yeah, apparently this is running on PS5.
You might have. Hey,
Hey,
They've updated their character models.
hands above your head now!
you, stay.
Yeah, dude, if the game looks like this, that's fucking crazy.
You make me news, isn't it? Trust me, this place is just the start for us.
Ring the bell! Shots, baby!
The only thing that matters is who you know and what you got.
I feel like I'm watching
this? We're
a
doing
trailer
it
for a game right now.
Yo, D, this full effect? They got your name, address, they got everything.
Oh yeah, Rockstar always uses like the most mainstream fucking music ever.
Like, brak, brak, brak.
You and me, Lou. We got this.
We got it.
That looks good. That looks good.
Say my city, baby! My city, baby!
Come to Fields Ammunition today. We got more guns than the law allows.
Hey,
I have so much thoughts.
Hey, if you got friends, can you hook me up, please?
Just let it play a little extra longer with that song so YouTube can really just figure out what song that is to yell at me about. I'm just gonna jump in here. If that is indeed in engine graphics, which I have no reason to think it's not, just because Rockstar doesn't really fuck around otherwise, it's super impressive. If the game looks like this, I do not want to hear anybody bitching about how the current gen isn't a big enough jump in graphics, because there's not a game that looks like this.
Yeah.
The only other game that looks this impressive to me is Naughty Dog's upcoming Intergalactic game.
Oh, yeah.
Other than that, I've never seen a game that looks like this. The amount of, and again, these are just like cinematics happening here, but I believe this is an engine. The amount of shit happening here between the lighting, the reflections, the movement, the detail of like everything, it's really insane. But also, if anyone was going to make a game look this good, it had to have been Rockstar. they spend a shitload of time making games, and they don't put like hard release dates on their games. They release them when they release them.
Well, when you're selling hundreds of millions of copies, you
Well, yeah.
don't really have to.
Yeah. They also have to take their time too, because a lot of people bitch about the delays, but I'm like, okay, they got to make a more ambitious game than their already ambitious games. But also, I guarantee they're going to have an online component to this game, so they're also making an MMO. Loosely putting the term MMO.
Yeah, and if they do, and as long as it functions better than GTA 5's,
better, dude.
I might pick it up for that aspect of it.
Yeah,
but
they've been tiptoeing out a better online experience, but even Red Dead Redemption 2's is better, but not as good as it could have been. So hopefully they'll get that figured out in this. But I guarantee they'll make money for the next 10 to 15 years on this game.
Oh, easy.
If they have an online thing. But yeah, the graphics are some of the best graphics, if not the best graphics I've ever seen in a game, which is crazy. The detail, even you can see fucking bubbles in this beer.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And the reflection on that shit, it's just insane. This doesn't look like a game. This looks like a movie or like a CGI movie or something. It's fucking crazy. But yeah, graphics crazy. It was cool to actually see more of the characters. Those character models have been updated since the last trailer, from what I can remember, because I remember the early footage, which was like, I think I'm remembering the leaked footage. A lot of people complained about because they're like, this looks like shit, but that was like alpha footage, and even then it looked pretty impressive, but didn't look like this.
Gotta stop having opinions on
Leaks. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's fun to talk about it, but people get like really fucking impassioned about this shit. I'm like, it's not even confirmed. You don't even know what you're talking about. But the last trailer didn't look this good. So something has happened since that last trailer, and I think that came out like 2023.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously not the same type of game, but I mean, we saw that even with the Final Fantasy 7 remake, the early footage versus like the trailers right before it came out.
Yep.
It just drastically looked better. So
yeah, which you would assume, because they're still working on it, it's going to look better regardless. But so many games, they'll be like, "This is the alpha. Don't judge it," and then it comes out and looks the exact same,
right?
All the fucking time. That's the standard. So I'm not used to games actually progressively getting much more better looking from the earlier iterations of it. So Jason and Lucia, I think that's their names. Their character models are like way more detailed and better looking than what I saw before. He almost looks different to me. So that's cool to see that they, weren't stuck on specific things, and they were able to play around and I assume improve their character models. They look better to me than they did before. This shot right here is fucking insane. This reminds me of like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Because Red Dead Redemption 2 has like amazing big sky areas that are just absolutely gorgeous. And yeah, it's definitely got the Rockstar charm to it. It's definitely got the crazy zaniness, the fun music. At one point, they mentioned, is he a Fed, which is interesting because one of the early leaks suggested that he would be a undercover Fed, but we'll see. Hopefully I didn't spoil anything because I don't know. Yeah, I'm super fucking impressed. This is like really crazy looking. I also like that in contrast to the last game where you had three dudes you're kind of jumping between and they all kind of fucking just hated each other and like we're just talking shit constantly. I kind of like that we're playing with the idea of like people who are in a relationship. It feels way different, which is nice because even Grand Theft Auto 4 was very different than 5 in terms of its story.
Well, also basically just a modern take on Bonnie and Clyde, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it gives me Bonnie and Clyde vibes. But it's fresh. It feels different, which I really dig. That's fucking gorgeous. Oh, and the last thing. This is something that Rockstar's never been strong with. And they've slowly gotten better at it. But I don't think Rockstar's good at like cinematography in their cutscenes. I think they've actually been really bad at it. I think Grand Theft Auto 5, tried to do some more cinematic stuff in the storytelling. Definitely some of their best attempts. Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. But neither of them, they're gorgeous games, but they're not telling stories like, a Kojima game or like a Naughty Dog game in terms of its cinematography.
Yeah.
This is like very cinematic. This is such a huge jump for Rockstar in terms of how they tell their stories from just these like clips we're seeing from the game. There's like, camera panning, very cinematic looking, some movement with that, camera angles that feel a little more inspired, a little more cinematic. Like this is definitely seemingly brand new territory for Rockstar, because like I said, I think it's been one of their weaknesses in their storytelling is the way they portray it cinematically, and this is absolutely I won't be able to claim that anymore after this game, because they're definitely getting more ambitious with how they're portraying the story. So I really appreciate that. Thoughts? I know you've been kind of throwing stuff in there. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really gonna have very deep thoughts on it.
Yeah.
It's a very good looking game, presuming this is what the game looks like, and even if it's just the cutscene, it's a really good looking cutscene.
It's a fantastic looking cutscene. Yeah.
Thematically, it feels like Grand Theft Auto to me.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be hard for me to have like any thoughts on that too much.
Which I'm really happy about, because it's been so long since Grand Theft Auto 5 that I was worried that maybe the creative juices of Rockstar won't be able to reproduce something that feels like Grand Theft Auto again. Just make an open world game, but not make it feel like Grand Theft Auto, and this does.
Well, so
feel
there's like
GTA.
a small bit of a concern there because of like the timing of the game's development cycle and like how certain devs were making their games there for a little bit. That people were worried that it was going to be tamer because
Yep.
gaming was kind of going
For a while
through
there.
something. Yeah.
Yep.
But no, it looks like a Grand Theft Auto game through and through.
1000%, yeah.
The stuff happening, and it's very like very zany, like you said, like
Mm-hmm.
very extremisms of like American culture and stuff. So
Yeah, it says capture on PS5, not even Pro.
oh yeah,
It's interesting. That's so fucking detailed.
yep.
I wish we got gameplay, but this is still super fucking impressive.
Well, it's also
Even
a
the
nice
raccoon in the background.
a nice treat, with them having to give out a release date and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So, going forward, I don't know if they did a lot with it with 5, but I remember with 4 they did a lot of like tech videos where they kind of like explained, the actual like mechanics of the game and stuff like that. Hopefully they do that again. I like
They
that kind of
basically
stuff.
got a whole year to do that now
Yeah.
from here on out.
So, it'd be cool to like listen to someone like break down the systems that are in the game, including like any like AI updates to like civilian behaviors and wildlife and all that stuff, weather, etc. So
The leaks, I don't know if they're true or not, but suggest a huge overhaul to AI, which the game's already had crazy AI.
right.
There's supposed to be like obviously the star rating for when you commit crime, but like for instance, if you like go into a store and like hold the place up, cops can get called. If you shoot the cops, like SWAT team will show up, but they'll actually like breach the building and like plot to get in, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, one of the leaks said that there's supposed to be like a hurricane system, so like the city can get flooded.
Yeah, so stuff like that is what I'd want to like.
Advancements like that.
I just want to hear them talk about.
Oh
it,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, because
But just the AI stuff, like
Yeah.
I was reading like they were saying like car accidents will happen and like tow trucks will show up and like all sorts of shit's going to be happening constantly, which I believe with Rockstar.
yeah. But yeah, other than that, especially for people I know who've been waiting for this game, I'm sure this was a very exciting day for a lot of people. So
Yeah, I mean it's exciting for me. This exceeds my expectations. I already expected it to be really good looking. I expected it to be more ambitious, but this feels like Grand Theft Auto, but it also feels like the jump that makes the time waited make sense. Because you wait that long of a amount of time for a game and it comes out, or they show it off and it looks like not that great, you're gonna be like kind of worried, a little disappointed. I don't think that I think this justifies the wait. You look at that and you're like, everybody's asking like, fucking, is that what the game's gonna look like?
yeah,
And I kind of feel like it's gonna, so which will be crazy. But yeah, I can't wait to see more on it. I was gonna say I can't wait to play it, which I can't, but we have like a year now to wait for the game, and I just gotta wait
At
for
least.
gameplay presentations, which I'll be excited about because I think Rockstar does a really good job with their presentations on games when they do release games. In the rare treat that they release a game, but yeah, I feel like this is gonna be worth the wait. It looks absolutely ambitious, which is what I was hoping for with Rockstar. It's got to be so difficult to release games that are so ambitious that the people in your genre just give up because they can't make a game as big as yours, to have to outdo yourself
Yeah.
again. Like, that's got to be so fucking daunting to go, okay, we got to start again. How big we going? How big's the city? How many cities are we going to have here? How many airports? How many characters? Like, what's the story? What are we going to do to push the game forward? Like, that's got to be fucking rough. So,
Yeah.
and I'm sure that's with every dev, having to outdo yourself from your last game. But Rockstar's games it's just like MMOs. People don't want to make a sequel to MMOs ever or they didn't. It's because they had to invest years and years and years into this fucking game. You want to start over?
Yeah.
So it's just easier to upgrade graphics. So I'm sure it's similar. Rockstar's like, fuck, dude, we got like many years ahead to start working on this now. So
Yeah.
cool stuff. You got nothing else?
No.
Let us know in the comments what you guys think about GTA 6 official trailer 2. What'd you notice in this trailer that's worth talking about? What has you excited? Maybe you have some concerns. What do you think about this compared to what we've seen in the past? What do you think about this when it comes to the leaks that we've heard about? And what are you hoping for from this? What do you think about these graphics? Is that what the game's going to look like? I feel like it's going to be, but let me know your thoughts. And yeah, what's your thoughts overall? I know a lot of people are kind of mixed that we didn't see gameplay, but I think this was a large enough chunk of visuals to give us something to chew on. So let me know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to GTA 6. Next video we got is Elden Ring Nightreign official overview trailer. This is an overview of what to expect from Elden Ring Nightreign, which is coming out at the end of the month. And we've already talked about it a little bit, so we might as well just watch it and see what they have to say about what to expect from this multiplayer Elden Ring game. This is the official overview trailer in 3, 2, 1, and go. Doesn't look as good as Grand Theft Auto 6. Still looks great. I love Elden Ring.
Elden Ring Nightreign is a co-op survival action game where you navigate a vast and dangerous field with other players. You must become one of the Nightfarers, fighting through the endless night and taking on scores of vicious foes over the span of 3 days.
They'll explain it in this, I'm sure, but the only thing that I'm hesitant about this game is that the concept sounds awesome, but because it's like runs and you have to find stuff as you're doing the run and you have a limited amount of time, that's going to be fun in a gamey way, but I'm hoping there's permanent shit to be working towards, because otherwise I won't be able to play for very long. I'd rather just go play Elden Ring or multiplayer Elden Ring, so it's got to have something to be working towards. I'm sure they'll talk about it. Just a thought. All right.
Once a country that thrived thanks to the power of gods, Limveld is now nearing its end, gradually being eroded by the night that has saturated the land. You will be deployed to Limveld to hunt the Night Lords as a level 1 character. In your current state, you won't stand a chance against that type of overwhelming power. You must gain the strength to survive by moving swiftly and skillfully. It's up to you to choose your route within the limited time you have before night falls. You can choose to hunt enemies and level up. Search for treasures, weapons, and items.
I thought this is just like a mod.
Yeah.
For Elden Ring.
Infiltrate
pretty much,
bases
yeah.
guarded by soldiers to gather information from hidden operational maps. Or challenge powerful enemies, wandering the land and lurking in heavily infested fortresses to obtain equally powerful rewards.
Bosses designed for 3 people, so they're
Whether you
really
choose
cool.
to move together,
I also like how
or
they keep like
divide and
showcasing
conquer,
like an archer,
your
because
character's
you
skills,
could
playstyle, and
play an archer
traits
in Elden Ring.
should
It's
guide
just very resource intensive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
or divide and conquer. Your character's skills, playstyle, and traits should guide your priorities. The layout of Limveld will change each time you visit.
Interesting.
With every expedition, bases, types of enemies, chest rewards, and other features of the field will fluctuate. Sometimes your exploration may be interrupted by enemy ambushes.
Okay, definitely like
So you may
the
encounter
replayability of that.
unpredictable events, like sudden meteor strikes.
Interesting.
Even more dramatic changes can also appear, like erupting volcanic craters bubbling with lava, or dark forests shrouded with corruption that rots anyone who dares explore it. In this constantly shifting
Yeah, it
world,
almost feels like the Chalice
you
dungeons.
will
from
face
Bloodborne
new
a little bit.
choices
Yeah.
as the battlefield evolves with each expedition. Evaluate every situation, use your skills to fight back, and survive through the night.
Yeah, I think the runs with friends is gonna be a lot of fun, with
Yeah.
how dynamic it is and how random. You're gonna definitely have stories of like, oh shit, we almost had him, or oh, we
As
beat him in the last
darkness
minute.
blankets
Yeah.
Limveld, the night's tide will
Watch the
begin to
learning
cover
curve
the
too is
field,
going to be rough at first.
narrowing your range of traversal.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get used to
As
it.
night falls, you'll be driven towards an unavoidable confrontation. A harsh battle ensues as various powerful enemies arrive. Some of your allies may fall before their mighty attacks, but this isn't the end. Critically injured allies can rejoin the fight if you attack them using your skills and weapons. You can
Interesting.
also rescue them from afar using tools like bows or magic. These battles are tough, but don't give up. Use all the powers you have gathered in Limveld to survive and overcome.
Definitely giving like a D&D vibe there.
Mm-hmm.
Be able to like, get people back up and stuff.
By hitting them.
Wow.
8 Nightfarers assembled to defeat the Night Lord. Each Nightfarer possesses different weapons and unique passive abilities, skills, and ultimate arts. Wilder, a knight proficient in a wide range of melee weapons,
That's
can throw grappling hooks to pull enemies, or swiftly close distances. He can
that's
also
kinda
launch
cool.
explosive iron spikes that deal a powerful blow to any enemy. Guardian, a warrior equipped with a massive shield, excels in defense.
It's got
Their
wings
skill,
and shit.
Whirlwind, can lift enemies off their feet and deflect arrows. Their art, Wings of Salvation,
literal
repels
tag. That's
approaching
cool.
enemies and deploys a magic
Yeah.
circle to save allies from dire situations.
I like that they're playing with like pre-made classes.
Eye, an archer who never misses a foe's weakness, controls
So
enemies from a
interesting.
distance.
Like
His
playing as
marking skill
set archetypes. I
injures
mean, I know
and
you can start that way,
pressures the
but
enemy, greatly disrupting
you know,
their
obviously,
poise
you can
and
just
creating
keep making whatever
openings
you want
to
in Elden
exploit.
Ring.
His
Other
art's
Soul
single
games.
shot fires a supersonic arrow that pierces through every enemy and obstacle,
That was cool,
ensuring
okay.
no escape. Duchess, a virtuous thief with quick
Is that you?
reflexes, uses her
I
cunning
don't
to
know.
confuse
I'm not really a big
enemies.
thief guy.
After attacking, she can use the skill Restage to reenact what just happened and deal damage again. Her art Finale hides her and nearby allies from
cool.
the enemy's view,
Yeah.
giving them a chance to adjust their positions or create an ambush.
Yeah, I like that.
Raider, a seafarer
Josh.
who is resilient and
the
unyielding
tank.
in battle, doesn't
I mean,
flinch at
maybe.
minor attacks.
I just figured big on the bubble
Rampages
weapon.
through enemies. His skill Retaliate strikes
that's
back
cool.
with a powerful blow. It cannot be interrupted by enemy attacks.
Dang, dude, you just punch
His
dragon.
art Totem Stellar summons a colossal gravestone that serves as an attack to dispel enemies, acts as a wall to block projectiles, and amplifies the
Crazy.
strength of allies through its protective aura. Recluse,
That's
a wielder of ancient magic, collects the elemental attributes attached to
cool.
enemies and allies to produce different types of powerful magic, such as lightning-based or fire-based spells. Her art, Soul Blood Song, can also brand foes with an archaic glyph of blood that allows allies to recover health and magic by attacking them. By mastering the style, skill, and ultimate arts of these Nightfarers, you may be able to survive and defeat the night.
Okay, give me permanent stuff though, because because otherwise it sounds fucking awesome.
The Hidden Round Table Hold serves as a base for Nightfarers preparing for battle in Limveld.
It's got a hub.
Relics recovered from expeditions can enhance your abilities when equipped before deployment. Relics have a diverse assortment of effects, ranging from increasing stats to altering the performance of skills.
Okay.
Different relic combinations can alter your gameplay experience, so try out different approaches and see what suits you best for the journey ahead. In a corner of the back room, a small jar merchant operates a bazaar selling various goods. Once you accumulate the currency Merc, earned as battle rewards, it might be worth checking what's on sale. Using the fitting mirror, you can unlock new costumes with Merc.
Cool.
And change your appearance. These outfits allow you to change your Nightfarer's style to suit your tastes.
Yeah.
Some costumes might even look familiar.
Yeah.
Son, bro.
As you battle against the night, fragments of your lost memories may return, giving you glimpses of who you once were. By recovering these fragments of lost memory, you can fill in the blanks of your Nightfarer's blurred recollections. In these memories, conversations with other Nightfarers or residents of the Round Table Hold might reveal new objectives. Achieving these goals during adventures in Limveld will help unravel the past, revealing each Nightfarer's origins and
It's
purposes.
interesting.
Yeah. The quality just fucking
See
dropped.
why
What
they
the hell
have
is going
come
on there?
together at this Round Table Hold, and why they fight. The Night Lords are the ultimate threat, waiting for players on the third day in Limveld. The Nightfarers are the only warriors remaining who can stop them and save this land from total obliteration. Battling a Night Lord, a being that boasts overwhelming attack power and toughness, will be more challenging.
Here's the big thing I'm excited for is like brand new bosses and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be enough to release something for Elden Ring. People would buy it. So, but like whole
By
game,
carefully navigating Limbo,
pretty cool.
acquiring more powerful tools and weapons with attributes effective against each Night Lord. Discovering relics.
I kind of want to try them too. Looks cool.
Experience and observation. Victory against the Night Lord will be within reach. Set forth on this thrilling and fast-paced adventure, filled with danger and achievement. Dare to stand together against the fool.
Kind of want to play that Hawk dude too.
That like the Valkyrie style one?
Yeah. Was he the tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked pretty fucking cool. Shit, that's cool too. Well, that actually did a lot for me. I was already interested in the game because anything From Software makes I want to play. I already like Elden Ring. I fucking loved it. I love it, but like it was my game of the year for the year that it had come out. Fantastic game, easy to go back and play. We need to play the mod more because there's already a multiplayer Elden Ring that you can either play legitimately or through a mod, and that's a lot of fun. So that they're even making like, you know, not just a multiplayer Elden Ring, but like there's like an idea behind like the gameplay loop of like you're going on runs basically.
Yeah.
You have a time limit and you're exploring. That already sounded interesting to me. It's already a premise that I would play just because of the gameplay alone, and that it's designed for the multiplayer. I think that's fucking cool. But watching this and them saying so much about every run, things will be placed in different places, whether it's items, weapons,
Maps.
Locations,
Yeah.
bosses, random events. That's fucking cool because that's going to add every run. It's going to feel different, but also just like it's going to add different variables that, you know, maybe it works in your benefit, or maybe you think things are going a little too easy and something crazy happens. It's going to create these stories and adventures and experiences that you're not really going to be able to have in other games. So that's really cool.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up it's gonna make you feel like you're going on a new adventure with your friends
Yep.
every time. So.
Yeah. And for people who have already played Elden Ring, this doesn't sound like it's going to benefit you that much outside of, you know, knowing basically how the game plays.
Yeah.
And you're going to know some of the like geographic locations, but if things are actually shifting around so much, it doesn't sound like it's going to really matter a whole lot. So that's pretty cool. And From Software is, notorious for when they add like content to a game or they, do more with something, they make it more difficult. And so I feel like they wouldn't want you to just be like, well, I've played Elden Ring for like, 1,000, 2,000 hours. I'm a pro. This is going to be nothing. It sounds like they're going to try to throw you for a loop and make you have to figure this one out too. So that's really cool. And then the thing that I brought up earlier is permanent progression, something to work towards. I think will be really important because this will be a fun game to play. But if you really want to keep me playing it, have me work towards things, and them having that like gem rune system, wherever the hell it was, modifiers that you'll be getting. That's cosmetics. Cool because now you can start kind of like fine tuning a build that will benefit you and make your runs more successful. So that's a lot of fun. Also, cosmetics. Didn't seem like there's a lot, but it seems like there is, different ones. So that's really cool. And that's something they can add more.
Actively add more, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully, if this game does well, they can keep supporting it for at least a year or two. Adding, maybe more bosses, more cosmetics, more of those modifiers. But yeah, I mean, overall, this I was already going to buy it. This sold it to me. I definitely want to play this. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Just for the sheer playing with your friends and having a challenging experience together. Gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much agree with everything you said. The thing that I think is the most exciting bit for me, because it's the part I like about playing Elden Ring co-op mod, is that you basically can just go on an adventure with your friends, and you can also like plan out different builds to kind of like make that like party formation. And this kind of just leans really heavy into that like using archetypes to go through
pre-planned classes, which is really interesting.
And I like their play on certain things. Like the caster is also the healer, but they're not like necessarily healing. They basically just throw a debuff on, like, okay, if you go hit it, you'll heal now. So I don't know. I also like some of the rope abilities of the knight there.
That's awesome. I fucking love that shit. That honestly seems more up my alley, is that kind of mobility. But this guy looks awesome. I fucking
he looks
really dig his
also love lances in FromSoft games. So,
but he's like looks cool, but also it seems like he had like an aerial move or something.
Yeah, he's gonna do it right here.
Yeah, which is sick. Like, I love that.
Yeah, no, it's super cool.
I like aerial. I like mobility. So. And
then because the mage was down as well, it brought them back because they hit them or whatever, which kind of gives you a no BS like system to like get people back. As long as you can like touch them, they're back, type of thing. I'm
surprised they didn't go with a more in-depth system of like at least holding a button down to get someone up, or using something that's limited to get people back up. It's interesting. There's like hit them, but at the same time too, I kind of appreciate just how simplistic that is.
Yeah, but what if the bosses are like super crazy,
super fucking crazy?
You don't have time to hold a button, right?
Yeah,
they'd have to intentionally slow down some of the encounters to give you windows to.
Yeah,
and they don't have to do that if all you have to do is like do a drive-by. Basically, they can have really aggressive bosses then.
Well, if the boss is up your ass constantly and you have to just run over to the person and get them up without dying, there's a challenge there. So
I don't know. It seems really cool. Elden Ring at first, like when I first started playing it, was, and this is the same with a lot of Souls games, obviously, but leveling only kind of matters like at first, and after a while, you're just playing it for fun because levels stop kind of mattering. So, but there's still, especially in Elden Ring, there's all the loot you're finding constantly. So,
and leveling will help, but mileage will vary based off of skill difference and also just like learning patterns of bosses, stuff like that. If you learn how they fight,
you just kind of get to a point where. You're going to survive at least one hit, so you're good to go. So, I don't know. I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of the variations of these abilities. Like even the spells and stuff are a lot of fun looking. It kind of reminds me of more like a traditional mage, which is fun. So,
this is coming out on everything?
Yep.
Okay. I was trying to figure out what I should buy it on.
Does it have crossplay?
Hopefully, because Josh's current situation, in which I won't speak for him, it would really suck to not be able to play this with him.
Yeah, I don't know if they mentioned that. We should probably look that up. But
yeah.
Let
us know in the comments if you know if it has crossplay or not.
It looks dope, and then even like the new designs and stuff that are in there are super cool looking. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, this did what I wanted to. It made me more excited for the game than I already was. So, you got anything else?
It was the one video I was looking forward to this episode.
Well, at least it worked for you. So, all right, let's know in the comments what do you guys think about Elden Ring Nightreign. Are you excited for it? Not excited for it? What are you hoping for from it? Is there anything you wanted from this that they didn't show, or maybe something that confirmed something that you wanted that they did show? What class do you want to play? Which one looks the coolest? What do you like the most about how this system plays out in terms of dynamics, things happening? Are you hoping for anything in that regard? And do you hope they support it? What do you want from it? Let us know in the comments. What do you think about Elden Ring Nightreign? Comes out soon. All right, last video we got is like 20 minutes. It's going to be a little bit of a sit, but I think it'll be worth it. This is Borderlands 4 official gameplay overview. This was a state of play that we kind of passed by because I was like, Borderlands 4, yeah, whatever, but I feel like we should talk about it. I think we're both on the same page that we both like Borderlands 2. I don't know if you've thought much about Borderlands 1. I liked it. The story wasn't great. Borderlands 2 story was great. Borderlands 3 gameplay was good, but I fucking hated the story. And characters, everything about it just lacked any charm. But the gameplay was pretty good. But it was the first Borderlands that I beat, and I was just done, which is really sad because Borderlands 2 I played the shit out of. So yeah, I'm hoping a return to form in terms of like maybe Borderlands 2, a better story. Hopefully they got a better writer in there. Hopefully it just feels more like Borderlands and less like a fucking like cartoon for kids. God, I hate the story in Borderlands 3. It's so fucking bad. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what kind of gameplay elements they're bringing to this game to change it up, because they made some like quality of life improvements in Borderlands 3 in terms of like being able to like mantle stuff and some pretty basic stuff that just made it feel like a modern Borderlands game gameplay wise, but nothing really too crazy and exciting. And I hope the characters feel more realized, because the characters in Borderlands 3, even though they are fun, they're all hybrids of multiple classes, and so none of them really feel that unique. They just feel like themes of many archetypes that exist. You can really build them, and I don't know, none of them felt like really special on their own, which kind of sucked. So I'm hoping these characters are a lot more interesting. Any thoughts before jumping into this?
It's gonna be a tough sell, and it could be a great game. Like I'm not trying to discredit it already. My problem is I'm kind of burnt out on the formula. And I have been since Borderlands 2, because I played that so much, it kind of killed it for me, and I haven't been able to get that back. I tried to play a little bit of Borderlands 3 because I think we had to at one point, and I just struggled to play it. Even like adjacent games like Destiny and stuff like that, I just like I play it for a little bit and I'm just like done.
Yeah.
And so with that, ideally, it'll inspire me to. Maybe light a fire under my butt to like want to play it, because I'd like to be interested in it. I like co-op games a lot. I just gotta, it's gotta draw me in. It really is really what I guess I'm trying to say. So
yeah. Well, hopefully it has enough things different about it that'll make it interesting again. So yeah, this is Borderlands 4 official gameplay overview in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Heyo, I'm Randy Pitchford, founder of Gearbox.
Looks like a cult leader.
Today, we're giving you our deepest look yet.
I was gonna say I'm getting like
all the excitement,
medieval vibes off of him.
On PlayStation
Yeah, a little bit.
5 Pro.
Looks like Borderlands.
Since creating the looter shooter genre nearly 16 years ago, we've continued to refine the formula, delivering better loot, greater freedom, and endless mayhem. And with Borderlands 4, we push things even further.
This is hands down our best Borderlands ever. All new movement, abilities,
I'll be the judge of that.
Bigger and badder enemies, and a brand new planet. All in service of making you feel like a total badass.
It's the perfect entry point for new players, with incredible new places and a great story. And for our longtime Borderlands fans, we're throwing back to our more grounded tone, while pushing gameplay ahead further than ever before. This is the culmination of years of hard work from my teammates across the Gearbox studios. So enough talk.
There's a little bit of acknowledgement there with
Borderlands 4.
the emphasis on more grounded experience, and he made a point to say that it has a fantastic story. So I'm hoping he's right.
Yeah.
Because 3's story, I won't even say it wasn't even that good. It was terrible.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe where life is cheap and guns are plentiful. You play as a Vault Hunter, a badass mercenary with powerful abilities called action skills.
Today I'm playing as Vex, our new siren. She wields supernatural phase energy to devastating effect. She can use that energy to empower herself, or channel it to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
Okay.
I don't like
And
that
because
choice.
everything's better in co-op,
Me neither.
I'm joining as Rafa, a former TDR soldier who wears an experimental exosuit. He can destruct an arsenal of weapons, like the razor-sharp arc knives.
These
kinda
are
cool.
2 of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict. For thousands of years, the Timekeeper kept the planet hidden, controlling its inhabitants with bolts, cybernetic implants fused to their spines. Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally crushed by his army of synthetic soldiers known as the Order.
That is until 6 years ago when Elpis showed up.
I do think it's
This rogue
interesting
moon
that
was
they're
teleported away from Pandora.
leaning away from the Pandora stuff.
Yeah, it feels like they're. I mean, I'm sure it'll be connected in some way, but it does feel like they're jumping to a different planet. The story sounds so far very different than the last game's story, which was fucking terrible. But it was like, and that game's story and every overall like themes and stuff was like Borderlands 1 and 2 light. It just it didn't really nail it. I don't know. It's hard to describe. So yeah, it's cool that it seems like they're trying something different.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm misremembering or not. It has been a long time, but at the end of Borderlands 2, they also showed that there were vaults on all these other planets, and so that was like the idea. I thought was that you were going to go do that.
Borderlands 3, you do jump around.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah,
It's,
your main hub's a ship.
Okay.
And then
I
you go
barely
from
played
planet
the
to
game.
planet, but it's like it was so underwhelming the way they did it.
Okay.
The game fucking sucks. Gameplay's fun though. Anything else?
No, that was mostly
Yeah, I agree. It seems like they are kind of jumping and maybe starting anew somewhere else. So
yeah, I think that's probably a good thing.
At the end of Borderlands 3 by the legendary Vault Hunter Lilith. When it reappeared across the galaxy, it crashed into the protective veil around Kairos. The results were devastating. A planet-wide cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect order.
Now people all across Kairos have started rising up. Some even ripping out their bolts. And chunks of their brain along with it.
Here it comes!
That's the situation our Vault Hunters have crash landed into. A planet ready to explode, and you're the spark. As you explore, you'll meet a cast of incredible characters. Fan
I'll be
favorites
the
return,
judge.
like Zane and Moxie.
Of course.
You'll also meet new friends like Rush.
And as always, Claptrap is along for the ride.
Last but not least is Echo 4. This helpful drone follows you everywhere. Hacking order tech, scanning the environment, and helping guide you to
So
objectives.
he's your new Claptrap.
But
Basically.
enough of all that. Let's get into the game.
Thanks to our improved lobby system, it's easier than ever to join up with your friends on the fly. And with full crossplay at launch, you can play with your friends on any platform.
Good.
Today, we're venturing into Terminus Range, a frigid, mountainous region.
This is just one of the 4 zones on Kairos that you can seamlessly explore. There's next to no loading time, just endless looting and shooting mayhem.
Okay.
For our current mission, we need to break into a secret black site located deep in the mountains. One of the Timekeeper's generals, Vile Lichter, has been conducting grotesque experiments on locals. It's up to us to stop it.
All right, let's get moving. Here I'm using Glide, one of our new movement abilities. Along with dash, double jump, climbing, and point grapple, these make getting around more fun and add a ton of utility to combat.
So some
As you
advancement.
traverse, you'll uncover a vast and beautiful world. And to bring Kairos to life, we've introduced dynamic weather and events, so you constantly have new things to discover.
Cool.
There's also plenty of local wildlife to contend with, like these Cratch, flying beasts who attack in flocks.
Oh no, it's what the hell are they called in Morrowind?
Here
Cliff
we've come
racers.
across a silo, one of several new activities in Borderlands 4.
You'll naturally discover short gameplay experiences like this all across Kairos. There's no need to pick up a mission first. These are auto-granted and tracked on your HUD.
Silos house old, decommissioned order tech that you can hijack for the Crimson Resistance.
With the help of Echo 4, we'll hack into their network and release the communications balloon.
Okay.
Now that we're in charge, we can fast travel to the silo. And as a bonus, it's revealed the approximate location of a vault key fragment. We can collect these fragments to unlock a hidden vault, a high-level dungeon with challenging combat and serious loot.
Okay, that's cool.
I see, so far tonally, this one is so much.
This
better.
feels nothing like
Let's
Borderlands
get
3, which is nice. Like, it's so funny how much it seems like they're trying not to make Borderlands 3 again.
Another nice thing about silos is you can zip line up and take off.
Oh, interesting.
Is this Apex Legends?
Yeah, apparently.
And if that's not fast enough for you, you can always pull out your personal vehicle, the Digirunner.
I think it's pretty cool looking.
Just hop on, hit boost, and get rolling.
You can customize the body, paint job, and even how it handles.
Okay.
And because this is Borderlands, you best believe it has guns.
As you traverse, you'll encounter a host of dynamic events. From order patrols to world bosses, there's always something to shoot and loot.
What's the loot gonna be like though? Because fucking 3's loot was almost too plentiful.
All right, we're
that
coming up
Torchlight
on
2
an order outpost.
Yeah.
Let's see the new movement abilities in action.
Just didn't really feel like there's anything to really grind towards.
Chaining our new traversal abilities together makes combat more dynamic than ever.
Not the way you guys are
Dash in and
playing.
out of melee attacks, dodge projectiles, or quickly reposition to gain an advantage.
How robotic this is set up, but I get they're trying to show off
Yeah.
how combat is, but it's just like everything's just moving like very
Now, I
like
know that there's a
right.
vault
set
tunnel
up.
around here somewhere, but we've got a mission to get back to. Let's pull out Echo 4 to show us where to go.
This does
We're
already
meeting up
seem
with
a
none
lot
other
better than
the
Borderlands
Tiger
3
of
though.
Tali herself, Amara. She's a former vault hunter and exotic pet sitter from Borderlands 3. She came to Kairos in search of Lilith and is now helping us take down the Timekeeper.
Don't you whine at me, homies. We'll play in a moment, huh? Oh, you agree to pet sit for a few weeks, and the next thing you know, you're having full conversations with animals.
You don't use security like that unless you've got something to hide. This must be the path to the black side.
Jurassic Park.
Agreed.
That's
But
what
if
I thought
Lilith
too,
is
yeah.
on the other side, I don't mind some property destruction.
Ooh, your specialty. Please, be my guest.
Is that the siren from the third game or something?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Or wait, is it Mara? Oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
her
yep,
siren.
yep.
Yeah.
I was
Let's throw some
thinking
light on this
she's.
black
They
side
said
of this.
something about pets,
Yeah.
and there's a person from Borderlands 3 that was a pet person, so I got them mixed up. But yeah, as soon as I saw the tattoos, they were glowing.
Co-op has always been at the heart of Borderlands, and we've put a ton of work into making it better than ever. Our improved lobby was just the start. You can also set your own campaign difficulty independently of the rest of the party. This way, everyone can tune the experience to their liking.
And you don't have to worry about loot ninjas stealing your drops, as loot is always instanced for each player. Plus, if you ever get split up, you can easily fast travel to your friends.
And 2-player split screen returns so you can enjoy couch
good.
co-op. Regardless of how you play, we just want you to be able to hang with your buddies and have a great time.
Sounds like they beta tested a bunch of stuff in 3 and then took the feedback in another game.
Oh, they got the feedback. People always bring up the Borderlands 3 sold the best of any Borderlands, but that's the same thing as the trilogy, Star Wars trilogy that Disney made. It made a lot of money, but now they're seeing the ramifications of the negative feedback. They can't get anything to really take off now. Same thing with Borderlands 3. It sold really well, but it's because Borderlands 2 was so fucking good.
Sure, there was anticipation.
It was guaranteed to sell no matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought Borderlands 3. I don't think I returned it either. So they got my fucking money, but I'm not satisfied with it. A bunch of people said shit about it, so they definitely got feedback. But it's just funny. A lot of people are like, it sold really well. It like people liked it. I'm like, yeah, some people liked it, but like a lot of people didn't like it too. And tonally, the way they're talking about this game sounds like they're trying to make people happy.
Yeah.
So I think they know. Because this does give me like more Borderlands 2 vibes.
Yeah.
It's also like leaning more into like the weird going from planet to planet sci-fi alien shit that Borderlands 3 really
Tim
didn't do
feels
as
like
much
the
of.
Product of Lictor's twisted mind, another of his experiments. If he's doing this to creeps, I shudder to think what he's doing to Lilith. We need to get inside. That air vent. Let's check it out.
It's a good way to take yourself out. It's terrifying.
Hermes is really creeped out in here. Not me, obviously. Hermes.
Now that we're in the black site, let's take a moment to talk about loot.
Okay. I like loot.
In Borderlands 4, each piece
It's
of
an
gear comes
easy
from one of 8
looking
manufacturers
UI.
with their own characteristics and trademarks.
What did he say?
Sorry.
In Borderlands 4, each piece of gear comes from one of 8 manufacturers with their own characteristics and trademarks. There's Jacobs, with crit-friendly black powder weapons, the elemental expertise of Maliwan,
I like Malawan.
Vladoff, who solve lower accuracy with more bullets, the toss to reload Tedior,
Always like TDR.
or Torg with explosion.
Nope.
We also have 3 new ones. The Order with powerful charge and release blast,
Nope.
fully auto rippers, and the reliable, easy-to-use Daedalus, which can use multiple ammo types.
But
Interesting.
that's just the start. We've introduced an all-new licensed parts system. This allows for behaviors and abilities from multiple manufacturers to spawn in a single weapon. For instance, this flat-off assault rifle features a Torg mag, Hyperion shield, and a Maliwan elemental switch.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning it shoots fast and explodes things. The higher the rarity, the more parts that can randomly spawn, creating wilder and wilder loot.
Some more
Before even
modifiers.
getting into
Modifiers, yeah.
fire modes, underbarrels, and elemental damage.
I hate that.
The possibilities are truly endless.
To support playing with your favorite manufacturer, we've added enhancements. This new type of gear replaces artifacts and provides bonuses to specific manufacturers. Take my current enhancement. It adds a kill bonus to all guns with Daedalus parts, along with more reload speed and critical damage. This lets you min-max your build around your favorite manufacturer, immediately turning just okay guns into amazing weapons.
Okay. Interesting.
Finally, we've heard your feedback, and we've overhauled our drop rates and loot across the game. We've worked hard to make sure all our gear feels better than ever, while also making rarity matter again.
Okay.
This makes for our most satisfying loot chase
You
ever.
literally just bitched about
And
that.
at the top of everything are legendaries. These have always had unique effects that you won't find on any other piece of gear. But in Borderlands 3, they drop too often. This
Yup.
not only devalued legendaries, it
Yup.
made everything feel less valuable. In
Yup.
our new system, not only do all guns feel great, but now legendaries will truly be special events. We've
How
added the magic
fucking
back
funny
to our
that you
leadership,
just said
and we
something.
know you'll love grinding all that great gear on Kairos.
Okay.
Well,
Let's get back to combat,
that's
so
something I
can show
needed to
you
hear.
My favorite thing, ordnance. This is the new gear slot for grenades and heavy weapons like rocket launchers. Instead of taking up a gun slot and ammo, ordnance now has cooldown timers.
Okay.
No more saving the big guns for boss fights. Now you can blow stuff up as often as you want.
That's interesting.
A little more gamey.
Yeah, it's like a move or ability.
Before we go further, let's talk a little bit about action skills. Every Vault Hunter has a set of 3 unique action skills. These are class-defining abilities with devastating effects. Up until now, I'd been using Incarnate to deliver powerful phase blasts. But let's switch it up to Phase Familiar and pull out Trouble. As you can see, each action skill has its own branching skill tree, giving you more build freedom than ever before. On top of passive skills,
do look
you can
bigger
further
than I remember.
customize action
Yeah.
skills with augments and capstones. These are socketed.
They're also like the UI is so different than the last 3 games.
I kind of like it, to be honest.
I got to get used to it, but Borderlands has always had like a skill tree. It's kind of like vertical.
Yeah,
It's
with,
like a
3
row.
rows.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've always liked the skill trees and like, playing around with it. And I do kind of miss that visual, but this just feels closer to like an RPG.
Yeah.
Which I kind of dig. It also seems like there's more, especially because there's 2 other trees or something, I assume. So, yeah, at least they're trying new shit, which
Yeah.
I'm kind of into. So,
On top of passive skills, you can further customize action skills with augments and capstones. These are socketed enhancements that add new behaviors and functions to your action skill.
it feels like they're making like a
Builds completely
deeper
change how combat plays out, resulting in
RPG
near endless freedom to experiment.
experience.
You
Well,
can
especially
swap
with like
unlock augments or capstones.
all the different like things that you can like try to get in your weapons and stuff like that too. They definitely want you to grind again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and tinker around and
Yeah.
do build type stuff, which is cool because I didn't really feel like that in Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Because Borderlands 3, my biggest problem with it, outside of the story being fucking horrendous, is it felt like it was just trying to live in the shadow of Borderlands 2. And so it felt like an gameplay-wise more enhanced version of Borderlands 2 while not taking any big leaps. And this so far seems like they're doing a lot of changes, which makes it interesting. So,
On the fly, or completely respec your skill trees at hubs around Kairos.
This gives us a chance to talk about traits. Each Vault Hunter has a unique passive ability called a trait. For Vex, her action skills attune to the element of her equipped weapon. So by swapping guns, I can change Trouble's damage from kinetic, shock, fire, or any other elemental type.
And also, you can pet the cat.
Dead end.
you can show
Is
it.
Let's see where this vent takes us.
He just stared at it.
God.
Dude, why would you say you can pet the cat and not show it?
Tubes?
The fuck is your problem, you psychopath?
I usually play Siren, but this one's not doing it for me.
I fucking never play Siren.
I don't think it's like necessarily bad. I'm not into pet jobs. And then the other tree was kind of one note feeling. But
Yeah.
I don't know the nitty gritty of it, obviously. So
I'll give them that's different feeling for a Siren.
yeah.
And I do like that the pet is
But
elemental.
thankfully,
They
our
can
fight for
change,
your
but
life
Yeah.
mechanic makes a return. Of course, I could have avoided it in the first place if I had just used my ref kit. This new piece of gear provides health and other buffs, like temporarily boosting my elemental damage, rate of fire, or movement speed.
interesting.
I'm almost afraid to ask
It
what's in the tube.
just sounds more like RPG-esque,
Look
Yeah.
at these guys.
like Diablo,
Those crystals
but
grow
which
out of
Borderlands has always been first-person Diablo, basically. But
Yeah.
By the way, If you're looking to experience the story again or just grind for loot, we've added full mission and boss replay. That's right, no more save loading to run bosses. Now you can return to the arena and use Moxie's big encore machine to spawn another run.
Okay.
Okay,
But
cool.
we'll talk more about endgame later. For now, let's jump ahead and show you something truly badass. In Borderlands 4, our bosses are bigger and better than ever, putting all your new skills,
Yeah.
gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
It's pretty crazy looking.
I like the cuts to make sure you don't see the mechanics completely.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Spoilers. That's enough of that for now. But we look forward to
Pretty
showing you
imaginative.
much more this June at our first hands-on gameplay event.
And from everyone at Gearbox, thank you for joining us.
He definitely looks like a medieval cult leader in it right there.
Yeah, it looks like he's like waiting for his fucking what's that called? Squire to come fucking prep his horse for him so he can
True.
go hunt some foxes or something.
September 12th.
Okay.
All right. Well, I was kind of excited for Borderlands 3, and then I played it and I thought it was fine. But felt overall disappointed with it. This definitely, I don't want to get to the point where I'm like, oh, fucking actually looks pretty cool, but I do think it actually looked better than Borderlands 3. That could be me just hoping that they can make a good Borderlands again. I don't expect them to make like, Borderlands 2 again, but it does seem like they're taking some pretty big jumps in some directions that makes the overall experience just have more going on and more things to do, which I'm pretty happy about because, like I said before, Borderlands 3 felt like a light, softer version of Borderlands 2 with too many things with their hands on, like trying to like balance everything, updating things so things can't be OP, making loot too accessible.
OP's half the fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like I liked grinding Borderlands 2 to get that like high-end perfect fucking weapon and just be able to wreck shit that was hard before. That's fun. And then of course, just have it so you can increase difficulty or something if it gets too easy. I don't know, but like at least there's something to work towards. Whereas like in Borderlands 3, I was like, okay, I beat it. I didn't like the story, and I already have like a shitload of legendaries, and there's not really like a whole lot of like extra cool stuff to do, like challenging bosses and stuff. That they even have like dungeons that you can unlock and do. They're supposed to be challenging. I think it sounds fucking cool. Yeah. So this 1000% feels like where they were probably overly confident with Borderlands 3, like this is going to sell no matter what.
Right.
This feels like they're like, okay, we heard you guys. We know we sold well with Borderlands 3, but a lot of people seem to have not liked that game. What did we do wrong? And it sounds like they might not do it. They might not nail it, but it sounds like they're trying to course correct, which I have to give them credit for. Even if they aren't able to do it, if they even attempt to do it, I'm glad. The story seems way less obnoxious than Borderlands 3. I didn't see a single dorky ass character saying a bunch of really dorky dialogue, which I really appreciated.
Like there's that moment obviously where they ran into that other siren and they were going to that place and she was having that dialogue where she was talking about how the pet's scared but she's not, and I was like, okay, that's subtly like a funny moment, right? It's not like sitting there trying to be like, I told a joke.
Yeah. Which is literally how 3 was. Yeah. Really bad. So yeah, it feels totally different. Yeah. Even visually, it feels a little like more grounded, which they brought up. It does feel like they're trying to do something to I guess, reclaim the name Borderlands and make that exciting again, because I'm not excited for a future Borderlands, even though the one that came out after 3, Tiny Tina's...
The RPG one.
Yeah, that one was actually pretty fun. It was a pretty fun game. So it's mostly just 3 I really don't like. But this definitely seems like something that I want to play. It seems like Borderlands. It's going to be a tight, fun shooter. I like the new movement systems. I don't know if they're needed, but more ways to get around and move around and fight stuff I think is pretty cool.
I mean, yeah, it's just more options. I mean, a player like me, I'm probably not going to use them like as much as they were showcasing them, right?
Yeah.
I'll use them in certain circumstances, obviously, but
yeah,
in combat, I'm very much a...
Yeah, and I like movement. I like jumping around. It's one of the reasons I love the finals so much, is there's like a lot of shit happening. So I definitely will be utilizing those systems and like gliding around and stuff like that. I think it's pretty neat. And then it really sounds like they're making every element of getting better and progressing and getting loot more hands-on and tinkering with, which I think sounds actually awesome. I don't know if I'm going to love mixing the companies, but it sounds interesting. I haven't tried it, so I don't know if I'll dig it or not. It sounds more interesting than what they did with Borderlands 3, where it's just basically every company just has like they really leaned into the companies being like their own thing, but it got kind of boring in the sense that there's no diversity now. Anytime I pick up this weapon, it's going to be a better version of my last weapon with the same kind of unique things to it. Whereas this sounds like kind of a response to that, where it's like you can't just expect this to be one way, because now you can start fucking changing shit out.
Or you're going to find them mixed too.
Yeah, exactly. And it's adding more modifiers basically. So that sounds cool to me. And then the skill tree looked expansive, looked interesting. And then also the ordnance system is also interesting, because before, like if you had like a rocket launcher or whatever, like they said, you only have like 4 shots or whatever because the loot was scarce. So you're saving it. Now it's like a cooldown.
Yeah, now it's a move.
So now it's just going to feel more fun to be able to pull that thing out when you need it. So they really talked this up like it's something crazy. It might have been lost on me. I don't know. But like it almost seemed like it was just like what Assassin's Creed. They just like got a quick travel
checkpoint
system. Like that's cool. But and I like that it launches you like Apex or whatever. But they spent way too much time on this when they could have just been like, oh, it's a fast travel fucking tower. But yeah, overall, this got me out of that like mindset of going like, it's probably gonna suck. I am interested in this, so yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yeah. So I mean, I completely skipped Borderlands 3 for a multitude of reasons. Initially, it was because it was Epic exclusive, and
big mistake.
I wanted to play my games on Steam.
Yeah,
and no shame towards Epic or anything like that. I don't want another launcher, right?
Yeah.
And then when it finally did come over, I was already kind of like over the idea of it. I had heard a lot of mixed feedback, and a lot of stuff that I would care about was more on the negative side. And then I think we did eventually have to play it for PlayStation Plus, where I did finally get to try it. But I don't like playing these games on a controller, so I was struggling with it there as well. So, yeah, and then tonally, it felt like the stuff that you expected, from Borderlands, basically, and that they were just trying to be as goofy and zany as they possibly could. They just really leaned into that,
and the villains were fucking terrible, and like there's like. You want like a good bad guy, and there wasn't even remotely close to a good bad guy in the fucking game. And like their idea of what they were, basically like their idea of like Twitch streamers, was such a stupid fucking idea, and it was such a boomer POV of what like an old person would think a Twitch streamer's like. It was like such a stupid caricature. It was terrible.
Yeah. So that being said, I've kind of checked out, and even with the Tiny Tina game, I think we had to play that as well for a little bit.
Did we?
I'm pretty positive.
I thought we just played. I think you're thinking of when we played the remastered like Borderlands 2. No, it was like the DLC for Borderlands 2, but I think it's standalone.
Yes.
I think that's what we played.
Yeah. My bad.
Because I don't think you played the newest one.
Right. Okay. My mistake.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I haven't played the last 2 Borderlands games then at that point. That being said, I'm not in love with. I mean, they only really they said 2 classes. We got to see 1, and I don't expect to love every class in every game, right? But
Yeah, I'm not super excited for both of these.
I didn't really get a chance to. They didn't really do much with the other class. I forgot the name already, but they showed the siren off a lot. And though I don't think it's bad, it doesn't seem like my play style is all.
I feel like Sarah would like this class just because she likes pet builds.
Yeah, and I know Chris will be into it because he always loves the elemental stuff in these games.
Yeah.
The one thing that has me wanting to pay attention to this game is the RPG mechanics of the game are very expanded and thought out. One of my favorite things to do in Borderlands 2 was to run bosses, try to get that like perfect piece of gear, and because there was so much like I guess, and especially with like the badass points and stuff like that too. There's so much like RPG aspect to that I really liked. This feels a lot more in line with that kind of like mentality, especially with them having the multiple manufacturers, multiple parts by different manufacturers, stuff like that, weapons where you can like find the same gun, but maybe like the clip in this one is, you know, one company instead of this one, and maybe you prefer that, like, you know, maybe it's Maliwan, so now all your ammo is elemental instead, you know, type of thing.
Good name reference. I wouldn't expect that from you.
And so I am interested in that. The tone of the game seems better for me because it is a more serious feel while still retaining a little bit of that like color. Obviously, it retains a lot of the colorfulness, but the silliness in a more subtle way, which I think is more my speed, anyways. And then the characters, when they were talking, they weren't driving me crazy, which is like huge because I deal with them for hours.
I didn't even notice them, which is great.
Yeah,
because in Borderlands 3, people open their mouth, I'm like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, so really, as long as the gameplay loop is fun, I think I'm interested. Especially because it sounds like a good like co-op grind fest, and I just kind of need one of those right now, anyways.
Yeah.
But also, the cherry on top would be if they could nail a new environment and a new story, because the story has a pretty like basic premise, but like if they make cool characters through that adventure, I'm gonna enjoy myself. So
yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah, no, that's cool to hear. I just want like a decent story at the fucking minimum, man. Because like Borderlands 1, its storytelling was like almost non-existent. There's like a lot of lore, but one thing I liked about Borderlands 1 is like it felt like you were on an alien world, that you were discovering how things are here,
right?
What the like, you know, marauders and shit were like what
everyone's a little crazy.
And then like towards the end, you're like running into these like aliens, and you're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Then Borderlands 2 like expanded upon that, and we got like much deeper characters
and a very good villain.
Yeah, and a really good villain, way better than a game like that deserved. And then Borderlands 3 basically did what Gearbox did with fucking Duke Nukem, and like you went from this like 90s caricature of like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's like a womanizer and like just a buff guy who just like wrecks people, to like their version. He's like in the beginning of the game drawing on walls with shit. And it's like, I think you missed the mark on what this character is supposed to be. I know you think this is funny, but this isn't. You've completely destroyed like what Duke Nukem was. Same thing with Borderlands 3. It was like, did you not get what was great about your last game, and you're just like leaning into like the terrible humor, and like, yeah, it was just like completely deflated in every fucking way. So this does feel like, you know, they're kind of getting back to like that more, like just looking at like they gave us a brief description of like, you know, what's going on here, but like there's like alien shit going on again. It feels a little more like mysterious and sci-fi again. Like I don't know. It just it kind of reminds me more of Borderlands 1 and 2.
But also just being on a new planet with new enemy types and stuff like that is refreshing, right? Because like I'm kind of tired of shooting skags.
Same, yeah. We that's the thing is they got too comfortable with fucking Borderlands 3, and there's like we gotta give them what they want. We're gonna keep revisiting all these things. It's like no, we want to experience new worlds and new things.
Yeah.
Just keep the loot. Like obviously we want loot, but like evolve it. Let's get some new locations that feel different.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then adding 3 more manufacturers too is
cool.
Is good, because if they're going to put a system in where like you might end up with a weapon with 4 different manufacturers' parts on it, that just makes the pool bigger. I don't know how unique those 3 are going to feel. They obviously gave us a quick little rundown on them, but obviously getting your hands on it and actually trying those new manufacturers will kind of be the ultimate test there, but. Because I think they've always done a good job of like, you'd get a manufacturer's weapon and its appearance would be unique. Its play style would be unique, and it really kind of let you lean into like whatever like style you enjoyed. Like I played Siren a lot in Borderlands 1 and 2, and so I would lean into melee on weapons because the elemental properties just like played well with my build. Versus like when I played a little bit into, I can't remember her name, but she had the giant robot mech or whatever. I went more for just hard ballistics and explosions and stuff with her. So and I was able to have those choices and stuff because they have those very hard style differences between the manufacturers and stuff like that.
Why can't I remember my favorite manufacturer?
What does it do?
It's the there was like yellow. Is Hyperion?
Hyperion. That was like because I think they're gone now, right? So the weapons are more.
They're in Borderlands 3. Yeah.
I thought that company went under for some reason. I can't remember the lore anymore.
Yeah, I'm not diving into the fucking lore.
Sure, but the whole reason was like their weapons became harder to find or whatever because of that.
They're in Borderlands 3, but those are typically my favorite manufacturer.
Gotcha.
So they didn't mention them here, but we'll see. What were we saying?
That was pretty much it. So
yeah. So you're actually interested, which is cool to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I got to see the other classes because
I do too.
This one, though I'm sure is fine.
I'm not interested in this class at all.
I probably wouldn't do this tree. The first tree would be something, and then they didn't show us the third one, so I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
So it could be something I'm into. Who knows?
Yeah, the other class they showed barely any of. I thought the melee weapon stuff looked kind of cool, but other than that, I not super into it. But we didn't hear much about it. And then the other ones I'd like to know more about. So
for sure.
Because it's just like in Borderlands 3, like I didn't specifically love any of the classes, which kind of sucked. So I'm hoping they'll have some interesting ones here without trying to make them too a jack of every trade, because that just makes them feel less unique. And
yeah, you definitely need some like class diversity, right? Because if it becomes too homogenized, like why pick?
Yeah. They have their ability. One has the mech, one has the pet, or whatever. But like they all could lean into very similar things, especially things that already existed in past Borderlands. I felt like I was just playing like hybrids of those classes, and that just felt not exciting. So, and of course we got another pet class again, and they're merging it with elemental stuff. So they might be doing more hybrid stuff, but. Yeah, I'm just curious. Just curious to see what the other classes are like. So
for sure, and obviously, like seeing versus like playing it is going to be different too. Like I may end up like deciding to pick up the game and playing the Siren and liking the pet. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
It's just not typically my favorite. So
yeah. Anything else? All right, let us know in the comments what you guys think about Borderlands 4. Where you at when it comes to the series? Where are you at in terms of having watched this? Did you like Borderlands 3? And if you did, I got no problems with that. If you like it, that's cool. Does this look like more of what you want? Does this look like a return to form for you? Does this look like course correction? Maybe this looks like the direction you don't want to be going in. What do you think about the classes that we saw here? What are you hoping for from the other classes? Maybe there's some features that you feel like they've neglected or that maybe they need to add in past Borderlands that you'd like to see in this game. And what do you think about the overall direction with this game in general? Let me know everything you think about in the comments below when it comes to Borderlands 4 and the rest of the things that we had talked about in this episode. But that's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast 219. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me for this conversation. It was a longer one, but a fun one. I think we had a lot of cool things to talk about and watch. And stay tuned. We will have more episodes coming soon. I've been uploading way more shorts on the channel, and YouTube is finally starting to show them to people, which is nice. So if you want to see my shorts, they are there. And yeah, until the next episode, which I think there's something coming up here soon. I forgot what the fuck it is, but we'll be there for that, whatever that is. Yeah, there's always something. Have a good one, guys, and take it easy.